Hey guys, it's been a while since I made a video, and part of that is because YouTube has decided anyone underneath 1,000 subscribers doesn't deserve to make money on YouTube. Not like I was making much money in the first place, but it hasn't helped me in my my drive to make YouTube videos. But anyway, it's been a long time since I made a video on anything gun related. So obviously, as you can see, this is my AR-15 pistol. Yes, it's changed quite a bit. So I thought I'd walk you through some of the changes. Some of the changes that I said I was going to make, I did. And just let you know how it all turned out. Anyway, I'll go ahead and begin the video. So the first thing I did, which I said I was going to do, is I changed the caliber of the AR-15 pistol. Originally, as you can see in my previous videos, it was .223 Wild. Now I changed to 300 Blackout for several reasons. I knew I was eventually going to want to suppress it, and if you are suppressing any caliber, 300 Blackout is the caliber to suppress. It is definitely the quietest, and that's because of the grain range you can go to. So you can go all the way from something like 110 grains projectiles all the way to 220, which are super subsonic, and I've actually got to shoot this with my suppressor on it, and it is awesome. 300 Blackout, do not regret going with that at all. If you're going to be hunting with it, I've actually had some experience with some friends who have hunted with it. It's probably not going to be something you want to take deer with outside of like 100 yards or something. But for most hunting, or at least hunting where I live, 100 yards is pretty much where you're going to do most of your killing. So also for defense rifles, I mean, you're going to do most of your defense use within 100 yards as well. So not too big of a deal there. And it actually does pack quite a more wallop than .223 anyway. So I went ahead and did that. So that's the main thing that happened. Aesthetically, I guess you'll notice I got a paint job. This paint job was in Cerakote, and I actually had it professionally done by someone called Hillbilly 223. They do a lot of the Cerakote jobs for people in the industry. I think they did an Air Precision Builders kit once or twice. They do a lot of the Cerakote work for Nighthawk Custom, which I have a shirt on right now. I don't actually have a Nighthawk, but I have one of their shirts. But yeah, he was nice enough to do that for me. I mean, obviously I paid him. But I got the finish in tungsten with graphite black battle worn. And it looks pretty dang awesome. It almost looks like a really nice gray. It's not going to flash up and be super flashy, so it actually is kind of matte. That graphite black helps with that. And then I got my logo right there in the Shockwave arm brace. So that's another thing that's new. If you look back in my old videos, you can see that I had a red dot on this. I upgraded that to a primary arms 1-6 in 300 Blackout. It has the red chevron, which I might roll in a video of, and it is doped for 300 Blackout. The reticle is made for 300 Blackout and 7.62, so it has the holdovers and everything for not only super and sub. So if you learn how to use this, you can use it very effectively, even with subsonics. So it has immediate holdovers. If you zero it at 50 yards, then you have a holdover for 100 yards with subsonic and supersonic, which is really cool. I think that's a pretty much, if you're going to have a variable zoom for 300 Blackout, I think this is definitely the scope to get for it. Very nice. I don't have any complaints. Something that I am going to be changing on this, I went ahead with their standard primary arms mount, and this thing is a chunk. So I actually just ordered a Aero Precision ultralight mount, which should save considerably on the weight. Something else I went ahead and did is I got a QD baseplate for the buffer tube extension. So I have a QD. This is a Magpul MS4 Sling, and it goes right into the plate right there. So I can have a really nice position to attach my sling there. And if I want, especially with the MS4, I can turn it into a single point and hang up. Or what I really love doing is using it as a 2-point, but plugging it into my Midwest Industries handguard. Seriously, if you are going with a handguard, a Midwest Industry is probably, in my opinion, the nicest one you can get. I love it. Super lightweight, and then they have these really handy QD points built straight into the rail. You can either go right there or up front right here, but it kind of gets in the way of my flashlight. So I don't put it there, but I put it right there, and then I can just let it go. Really nice and convenient. I love this MS4 Sling. So yeah, that's my Sling attachment. That was something a lot of people said, why don't you have that? And I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it now, since everyone's probably wondering what this is. This is a Griffin Armament Optimus 9 suppressor. So this is the suppressor I went ahead and went with. It gives me the biggest range of caliber use that I could see, and it had all the features that I wanted. So I have it attached to my 300 Blackout. Now with the Optimus 9, it comes with one muzzle device, which is a taper mount minimalist muzzle brake and it's threaded for 5/8 by 24 or whatever, pretty much the 308 caliber or 300 Blackout. So it threaded right onto my 300 Blackout, and then I got a a medium blast shield, so that because if you use the one that it comes with right out of the kit, it's actually like super long, so it's even longer than this. But I got the taper mount for the minimalists, and it threads right onto the gun, right like that. Here, give me a second as I get this back on. But it's really nice. I went out and actually only got to shoot it once, so I mean, I probably don't have a lot to say about this as far as experience goes, but this is my first introduction into the world of suppressors, and I love it. It's so cool. I used it on my 9mm Vector, which I don't think you guys even know I have, which I've gotten recently. And then I used it on the Vector and this, and it is awesome, especially with subs. So I am super excited about that. Would definitely recommend suppressors. I hope the Hearing Protection Act / the Share Act, whatever you want to call it, goes through. Doesn't look like it's going to. But I'm happy I ordered mine last year is when I ordered this, and then I just got it about a month or two ago. So try not to make this drag on too long. That's that. What else did I get? Okay, yeah, I have a bunch of these little doohickeys, and I guess there's only 2 of them right now, but I'll do some close-ups of these. But the first one is the extended magazine release. I got that from like Black Rifle Market, but I don't know, someplace. They actually shut down since I bought it from them. But you know what I'm talking about. They pretty much everyone makes the same one of these. It's okay. My opinion of this is, it's kind of hokey. Like, honestly, I wouldn't buy it again. It's not worth whatever, 20 bucks or something. But it's cool to have on there, especially if you have smaller fingers. I've never had a problem hitting the magazine release button. It's honestly something you have to get used to, having it in a like slightly different location. So it's kind of weird. I like it. It's cool. It makes your gun look tactical. So tactical. Not super something I would say helps me a lot. But something I would say helps me a lot is on the other side here. Let me get this flipped around for you. And that is the bad lever device. So it's not actually a Magpul bad lever. I have a bad lever on my other AR-15, but this is a bad lever type device, which, you know, lets you lock open the bolt super easy. You see these tons of places. I would definitely recommend getting one of these if you're going to be putting something on your AR-15. Instead of going with something kind of stupid, go with this first, because it really helps increase reloads, and honestly, just the biggest thing I use it for is making locking open the bolt 1,000 times easier whenever you're locking it open. So it's worth it just for that, even if you're not into speed reloads and stuff like that. It's just a useful tool. Let's see. What else am I going to talk about? Oh, so lastly, I have the Fostech Echo trigger in here. And I made a couple of videos about this, so you probably have seen that a little bit. And so I'm not a huge fan of the Fostech Echo. I was very disappointed with the trigger pull right out of the box. It felt like, you know, 6-7 pounds. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was rough. I would definitely not buy a Fostech Echo again. I would say go with maybe the Franklin Armory binary trigger. Definitely go with that, even though I haven't felt it. But this thing is really rough. Also, it's a MIM machine part, which I wasn't happy with, and then it locked up on me, so I had to send it back. They fixed it, but the trigger pull was still bad. If you want to know more about it, go look at my other video. I wouldn't say I recommend it, though. I really love the feature. Like, double tap binary mode is awesome. A ton of fun. Especially with 300 Blackout suppressed, I was doing some double taps. That stuff's really cool. But I also would say that the binary the Franklin Armory binary trigger is probably better for your money too, because it's also cheaper. So take that for what you will. Just one man's data point. I know some other people on YouTube, like the big YouTubers, Military Arms Channel is where I first saw it, and he loved it. So I don't know, maybe I just got a bad model. Something I did do to it, I went and got the lightened spring that you can go if you look up in, like, say, Fostech trigger upgrade. I got the lightened spring from a guy on eBay who's selling it, and I installed that. It has helped significantly. It didn't help the trigger become more crisp, but the pull weight went down substantially. So now it's very usable, but I'm not super happy about having to do that modification, like, additionally, instead of it just coming how it should for a $500 trigger. I guess you can get them for around $400 now. Anyway, that's my mini rant on that. Yep, I got a standard Magpul M-Lock hand stock kit. Love this thing. It's really cool. Something else I did get, which I'm probably going to be replacing really soon for a Nightcore PO5, which I just ordered, which is a flashlight. But I got this little tiny $10, $15 light on Amazon. Something I will say, this light is, I've shot with it, so it doesn't flicker whenever you fire, so it's shockproof at least. So, I mean, I wouldn't call it a battle-ready flashlight, but if you're going to use it for home defense, especially indoors, it can't be more than like 50 or 60 lumens, but it lights up a room pretty well if you're indoors. Definitely not battle hardened, but if you're going to use it for home defense, I would say you could probably pass with it. The thing about it is extremely light and tiny, as you can see. So that is something it does have going for it. I'm going to have to compare it to the Nightcore PO5 once I get it, because that thing's supposed to be pretty tiny too. So maybe I'll make a video about that whenever I get back from Fort Knox. So that's fun. Anyway, that is my 300 Blackout pistol, AR-15 pistol. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I would love to talk to you about the different configurations of the Griffin Optimus, because that was something I was honestly very interested in before I got it. I was trying to find all sorts of information. So maybe I'll try and upload some shooting video at the end. I think it's probably going to be of my dad shooting, because I don't think he videotaped me shooting this at all. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions about this, about my AR-15 pistol. I guess if you haven't seen the old video, I'll go ahead and tell you every single piece. I have a Midwest Industries SSM rail. I got a Ballistics Advantage. It's a 9-inch rail and a 10-inch barrel. I got a Battle Arms Development lower receiver, Air Precision upper receiver. I got a KAK buffer tube and Shockwave arm brace. And that's honestly probably the biggest parts that you'd have questions about. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you have questions, and I will see you later.